Deep in the Amazon rainforest, in the heart of absolute darkness, a female jaguar takes shelter in a hidden den. She is not alone. Inside, a newborn kitten, no bigger than a human fist, gasps its first breath. This is the story of survival. This is the story of a jaguar. For the next 180 days, this tiny creature will face impossible odds. Predators that hunt at night, flooding that kills without mercy, and rivals that do not forgive weakness. By the end, only one outcome is possible: evolution or extinction. Welcome to the rainforest, where the strong survive. At just 800 grams and stretching barely 30 centimeters from crown to rump, this blind, deaf newborn is the size of a small pineapple. Its eyes and ears are completely sealed by thin membranes, cutting it off from the chaotic world outside. For the next 3 weeks, its entire universe is confined to this dark, subterranean sanctuary, a space monitored silently by remote, non-invasive sensors and long lenses to ensure zero human presence. The mother is not a sentimental figure, she is a biological survival system. Immediately after birth, she licks her offspring dry with a rasping tongue, a harsh, necessary act that stimulates the newborn's heart rate, jumpstarts its circulation, and spreads her protective scent across its damp fur. She is the cub's only shield against the damp cold, providing constant body heat and rich milk. At this early stage, the cub's motor skills are limited to a simple nursing reflex. It cannot walk, regulate its own temperature, or defend itself. Every gram of weight gained, about 30 to 45 grams a day, demands immense maternal energy. Inside this sealed womb of roots and earth, the mother keeps watch. In this unforgiving ecosystem, survival is a numbers game, and right now, the cub's odds are entirely bound to her side. Outside the root-tangled sanctuary, the rainforest does not spare the vulnerable. Even in the dark, the den is watched. Opportunistic predators patrol the immediate perimeter. Voracious coyotes and agile, silent jaguarundis linger nearby, waiting for a moment of maternal absence. Yet the gravest danger comes from other jaguars, unrelated males whose territorial patrols often end in infanticide. Rain brings another hazard. Sudden tropical downpours cause seasonal rivers to rise, turning low-lying dens into waterlogged traps. To protect her offspring, the mother must hunt within a highly restricted radius, keeping her excursions short. Every extra meter she travels increases the risk of returning to a dead cub. Survival during this fragile window depends entirely on sensory development. Within the first 10 days of life, the protective membranes over the cub's eyes rupture, letting in the first dim gradients of light. By 6 weeks, this blurred vision sharpens into a precise sensory tool, mapping shapes and motion. For the first time, the cub truly sees the dark walls of its sanctuary and the mother who keeps it alive, preparing its mind for the brutal forest outside. At 6 weeks, the cub's education shifts from passive survival to active training. The mother no longer simply provides meals. She begins bringing wounded, highly mobile prey to the forest floor. Small, spiny rats and ground-nesting birds are dropped onto the leaf litter, injured but still capable of escape. This is not a gift, but a trial. The mother models the mechanics of the hunt: the low-slung creep, the slow, silent placement of each paw, and the frozen wait before the strike. The cub mimics her posture but lacks her discipline. It pounces too early, misjudges the distance, and slips on the wet loam. The prey scrambles into the undergrowth. These repeated misses are not light-hearted play. They are functional, necessary failures. Field biologists monitoring these early interactions classify this behavior as a structured system of deliberate tutoring rather than random instinct. The mother often retrieves the escaping rodent and drops it back in front of her offspring, forcing the cub to try again and again. Through this relentless cycle of trial and error, the cub develops muscle memory in bite precision. It learns that noise equals hunger, and hesitation means disease. In an ecosystem where over half of all cubs die before their first year, mastering these early lessons is the only path to the top of a food chain. At 90 days, the shelter of the subterranean root system is no longer enough to hold the cub. Curiosity pulls it outward, crossing the threshold of the den for the first time. The rainforest floor replaces the safety of enclosed earth with complete exposure. Here, every shadow presents danger, and every rustle demands an immediate response. As the cub steps onto the wet leaf litter, a low, sawing grunt vibrates through the humid air. The sound belongs to an adult male jaguar patrolling the boundaries of his home range. Jaguars are strictly solitary and fiercely territorial. Unrelated males pose a constant threat, actively tracking and killing any vulnerable young they encounter. This auditory cue changes everything. The lessons from the den are instantly put to a live trial. The cub's survival depends on a rapid reflex. It must freeze, pressing its body flat against the loam, blending its spotted coat into the dappled light of the understory. The mother is nearby, but her ability to protect her offspring has physical limits. If a physical confrontation with a larger, heavier male occurs, the outcome is highly unpredictable and potentially fatal for both mother and cub. She stands alert, scanning the brush, but she cannot fight this battle for him. The cub must remain absolutely still, controlling its breathing in the face of an invisible threat. A single sound, a dry twig snapping under a shifting paw, will give away its position. In the Amazon, this is the true boundary of survival, the moment the cub learns that its own silence is its only shield. At 5 months, the cub is leaner, stronger, and driven by a relentless hunger. The mock battles of the den are over. Now, the mother leads the juvenile on genuine survival hunts through the flooded understory. The prey field expands to include formidable targets, herds of white-lipped peccaries, juvenile caimans, and capybaras. The forest is no longer a classroom of wounded rodents. Every patrol is an active hunt where a single mistake means starvation. The cub mimics its mother's low, fluid, stalking posture, learning to synchronize its breathing with her movements. Together, they wait in the shadows of the riverbank, sharpening the precise ambush timing required to strike their quarry. At 6 months, the lessons culminate on a muddy riverbank. The cub secures its first capybara, delivering the signature cranial bite to a heavy, thrashing target. The child has become the predator. Now, the mother begins her quiet withdrawal, stepping back from the constant protection she provided for 180 days. She leaves her offspring to face the wilderness. The cub is ready to hunt alone, stepping out from her shadow to take its place in the Amazonian hierarchy. Yet the rainforest offers no easy victories. Most wild jaguars do not survive their first year. Survival now depends entirely on the brutal rules of the understory. To safeguard these apex predators and their fragile forest ecosystems, visit panthera.org to learn more about the Jaguar Corridor Initiative. Now, a new ghost stalks the flooded forest. Born in blind weakness, this predator now commands the shadows. In an unforgiving, rapidly changing Amazon, this brutal blueprint remains the wild's ultimate safeguard. The crown has been passed. Join the conversation in the comments below.